I'm pitching a new judge show. Andrea's going to be the judge.
Oh, good. I always wanted to be a judge.
We're judging all others who claim they invented things when you know they came from the Greeks.
Well, I can be fair and impartial until it comes to the Greeks because we did invent everything. It just, it's not bragging if it's true. Isn't that what you always say?
I feel like I'm an honorary Greek.
You are.
Having you and my friends.
Yes.
But we've been invaded by Greeks in studio. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Yeah, I'm so thrilled. So the National Hellenic Museum every year puts on a mock trial. And I'm a board member, so we take classics of, people from ancient history, controversies from the past, and bring them to light and try them in present-day situations. So last year we had the trial of Socrates. The year before that was the trial of the Parthenon marble. So issues that are, still living on today.
Well, but also it's fun.
It is,
but it's
so
educational.
Much fun. Yes, because we have some of the biggest legal minds in the Chicagoland area who are in our mock trial courtroom, which is the Harris Theater, by the way.
They're not messing around. They're taking it seriously.
This year is the trial of Pericles.
Well, it's about time. Oh, wait, I can't say that.
The trial of Pericles, and we have the presiding judge, who's also a co-chair of the trial committee and a National Hellenic Museum board member, our friend Cook County Circuit Court Judge, retired, Anna Demacopolous.
Hi.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank
Had her
you
mic
for
on
being
Joey
here.
D. Let's turn everybody's mics on in the whole building. There you are.
There we go.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
We're
Nice
so
to see
thrilled
you,
you're
Judge.
here. We have Katerina Alexopoulos from the Department of Homeland Security representing the prosecution. So she's going to be prosecuting Pericles this year.
And it's okay if we call you Kat.
Of course.
We can
Good
call you
morning. Thank you
Kat.
so much for having us.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you for the work you do as well.
Of course, thank you.
And Jim Pullos from the Clifford Law Offices, our friend Bob Clifford, representing the defendant Pericles.
And nice to see you, Jim. I understand Patrick Salvi was going to be here, but he's trying to get out of a parking ticket right now. Is that accurate?
He's on his way. I just
He's
texted
actually
him
in the
now.
elevator coming out the door.
Rushing in.
Ironically, he's the non-Greek that is late right now.
Yeah.
It's our time.
See?
How about
There
that?
you go,
How
Kat.
about that?
She knows Greek time, right? We're always fashionably late.
Andre, you get the first question.
So this is very cool. This is the latest installment of the trial series. Judge Anna, let's start with you. Tell us about this trial series, why this is so fun and so important. I mean, it's sold out every year, and it's a great crowd, and it's a great thing to do.
It is. It is. So we started the trial series back in 2013, the first time we tried Socrates. And part of the mission was, the mission of the museum is to bring Greek culture, Greek history, traditions to the people of our community and to educate people about that. So we thought, what better way to do it than to demonstrate how Greek drama and controversies that were in ancient Greece are still present in everyday society. We all know how fragile democracies can be, and so we every year we pick a topic that we think is relevant to people, and it's entertaining. We have the best legal minds and talent in the Chicagoland area that present, and every year everybody that is in the jury, and when I say the jury, what's unique about this is we kind of replicate what happened in ancient Greece, and that is juries were made of 500 people. 500 people, Steve.
You think about 500 people in the House of Representatives, you can't get them to agree the sky is blue. Imagine having to do that back in the day.
Oh, exactly.
And you know why?
No, why was it 500? What was the magic number?
Not likely that you can corrupt 500 people.
Oh.
See, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So when we do the trial,
Strategic.
when we do the trial, we have the judges will make a decision. We also have a celebrity jury, and I understand, Steve, you're going to be on our jury.
Well, I'm
this
honored
year.
to be asked, and
Yeah.
of course I'll be there.
And then we
April
also
17th
have
at the Harris Theater.
Yeah, the audience gets to vote, and
Yes.
so at the end of the night, just like we do, like they did in ancient Greece, they have little tokens,
And
based on whether they find him guilty or not guilty, they will render their vote, and it's their decision that matters.
And it's not like a Romans thing where the jurors are taken out and killed immediately after, right?
No.
Okay.
No, or
Greeks
the
are the
defendant, too.
civilized society.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
So Pericles was picked because in 451 BC, he wanted to revoke the citizenship of people who did not have two Athenian parents. And he said this is necessary to protect Athens from foreign influence. So you can see a lot of the themes can still resonate today. So Pericles is going to be put on trial because citizens lost their civil liberties, the right to vote. So the jury, including you in the audience, will get to decide if he is guilty or not guilty. So we're lucky to have the prosecutor and a couple of the defense attorneys, too. Patrick Salvi's here now.
Yeah, Kat, you have the advantage of having all this evidentiary history as well. Aside from that, and obviously you can't give away your case, but where do you go as a prosecutor?
Yeah, so, I mean, first of all, just it's such an honor to be on the stage with the talent that we're going to have on April 17th. I've been explaining this to my non-attorney friends, and it's basically like having the opportunity to play with the 1990s Chicago Bulls, to scrimmage with them, right? Like, that's how I see myself up on the stage with the likes of the Patricks, as I like to call them, Pat Collins.
So you have to have your best game on.
100%.
So you feel like it raises your game.
100%. And this is bringing my two passions together, right? I'm a first immigrant. My parents are immigrants. I'm first generation, and I love litigating. So this is an opportunity to bring both of those things together, my Hellenic heritage, and put them on stage with the likes of these amazing people. But we're not letting Pericles go.
No, you think you're confident that he will be found guilty?
Listen, us Greeks invented democracy. We are the ones that invented the voting system.
Not going to give it up.
That's right.
Of course, as a juror, Jim, you know I'll be unbiased in this case. You have quite a hill to climb.
We don't see it that way, actually. And first, I also want to say, as a lifelong resident of Chicago, of Greek heritage, it's my tremendous honor to be part of this program. The Chicago community has always embraced Hellenic heritage. The Chicago community has always supported providing Greek knowledge to the people. And I think the National Hellenic Museum is the culmination of all of those efforts. And so it is a tremendous honor to be part of the great legal minds and part of this, great process that we have here. There are some other individuals that will not be present that we're looking forward to filling their shoes.
Like Pericles.
Like Pericles.
Right, yeah. Right. Couldn't make it.
Absolutely. But the reality is why we're here is that Pericles is getting a bad rap. Pericles is the first citizen of Athens.
Okay.
He is the individual that put in place a direct democracy that is the largest and most robust democracy that's ever existed. And we're here because the prosecution wants to take down the first citizen of Athens, who served the people by a direct democracy for 30 years. He was the individual that promoted arts and literature in the Greek community. He's the individual that built the Parthenon on the Acropolis.
Well, yeah.
He built the temples to Nike and Athena.
Very accomplished. Built the Nike store on Michigan Avenue. I don't know if you know that.
And here we are 25 years later. We're relitigating the greatest Athenian of all time.
Now, before you give away your entire opening statement, I want to come back. We'll talk to Mr. Salvi as well.
Yeah.
And continue with this, and then you're going to tell us how we can get tickets, right?
Yes, it's just such a fun event. I love the comparison that Kat made to the Bulls in the 90s, because that's what it's like watching all these great legal minds.
All right, stand by. We got Gremlins in the machine on the Big 89 WLS, Andre Darlis. We have what I would consider to be a Sunday afternoon for you.
Yeah.
It's a room full of Greeks, and the only thing missing is the food they would have brought. And reintroduce our guests, please.
Attorneys and judges. We have Cook County Circuit Court Judge retired Anna Demacopolous, who's the presiding judge over the trial and co-chair of the trial of Pericles. Katerina Alexopoulos, Department of Homeland Security, prosecuting Pericles. Jim Pullos from the Clifford Law Offices, defending Pericles. And we welcome Patrick Salvi Jr., representing also the defendant, Pericles. And we have two defense attorneys. Oh, I'm sorry. And celebrity juror Steve Cochran.
Yes.
Who's going to be a part of the presentation April 17th at the Harris Theater. 7 o'clock.
By the way, we got a 630 texter who plugged. Don't forget about Aurora Greek Fest, auroragreekfest.com. So, get your plugs in while you can. Yeah. Patrick Salvi's here. Patrick is going to be part of the defense. I felt like your co-counselor did a very nice job setting it up. Would you just add what he said, or do you have something else you'd like to state early about Pericles?
Well, I certainly echo what Jim said. Great to be on your show
nice
this morning. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We have some cross-examinations coming up. We have an opening statement and a closing argument to give. As you noted earlier, not only Can we not give away our secrets? We can't be trying to indoctrinate one of our jurors prior to the trial, so we got to be careful.
They can't even talk to me.
But I think
there's a curtain separating you two.
But as our wonderful Judge Anna told us, it's hard to corrupt 500 plus people, and we do expect a huge, huge crowd because this is an exciting event. And I think one thing, in addition to the defense of Pericles and all of the reasons why we will establish that the citizenship law had plenty good reason and that no conviction should occur, that the state will not be able to meet their burden of proof. In addition to that, I do think that this event highlights the importance of the jury system. And in this day and age, when facts are thrown around and it's hard to tell what's true and what's not, to have the rules of the courtroom, the rules of evidence apply, to have advocates, the adversarial system where advocates on each side have worked very hard to ensure that they're prepared and respond to arguments, and then for the jury to decide what is true and what is not. The word veredictum comes from vera, the truth, dictum, to tell the truth. And so for us to go through this process and for people to see it, in addition to learning about the historical context and the beauty of the National Hellenic Museum, which is just unbelievable. We'll be at the Harris Theater, but people should also go to the museum as well.
Yes, totally agree.
So in addition to all of those wonderful things that come about with this trial, the importance of the jury system and its role in the democratic process, I think will also be on display and something for folks to learn a bit about, and by participating in it if they come.
I always have said that, young reporters should all reporters should just sit in a courtroom setting, learn the justice system. But now I've kind of amended that to say all students, sociology, civics, political science. And you were echoing that too, Judge Anna.
Yeah, I think that, one of the things that we're seeing in our society now is that there is a lack of knowledge on civics.
100%.
What does it actually mean to have access to the ballot for both the citizens and the candidates? What does it actually mean to have critical thinking? What does it mean to actually listen to arguments and you make your decision on, what you're hearing and what you're seeing, and not necessarily being influenced by other people's thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. So what's really cool about the event is from the stage, right, you're looking out into the audience and you can literally see people like shaking their heads when they see the lawyers. And then the next lawyer gets up and they're like, oh, maybe I wasn't,
right.
Maybe I'm going to change my mind here. And then when we take the break and, we're allowing jurors to vote, you can see like the chatter and the excitement going on. And it's really cool. And then everyone's so interested in seeing what the celebrity jury is going to do because we poll all of the jurors. And then everyone's on pins and needles to see what the judges. So last year, all 4 judges found Socrates guilty. The celebrity jury found him not guilty, and the audience found him not guilty.
How about that?
How about that?
So it's really cool to see that interplay.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about, in ancient Greece, they were having these discussions in the agora, right? They were having these discussions amongst themselves about what it means to be a citizen. What does it mean to have the right to vote? What does it mean to have the right to sit as a juror? Because that's one of the things that Pericles is accused of doing, is subverting the rule of law, and that he stripped some 25% of the citizens of their citizenship and their right to vote. Now, obviously, there's a defense to that, and that he was justified in doing that, in protecting the citizens and against foreign influences. So it's a topic that people are interested in right now in our society. So it's a repeat. It's a repeat.
Yeah, they
it's
resonate
it's
to present
completely
day.
relevant. Kat, I assume it hasn't been that long since you were an aspiring student yourself. What do you want to say to students who want to be involved in this, or maybe to teachers and educators about bringing their students in?
Yeah, I think everybody should come to this event. I think that's the beauty of it, is that it is so relevant to today's society, that it's good for both students, it's good for lawyers, it's good for non-lawyers, it's good for law students, it's good for people who are retired and have had the experience of voting
100%.
in many elections. I think it's just relevant all across the board.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's give away 2 pair of tickets.
That sounds good.
But with a codicil, because I think I can do this. And even if I can't, we'll do it. You got to bring a kid. We'll give away 2 pair of tickets.
Yes.
But, it could be a family with 2 kids.
It's fascinating to
Could be
watch.
a father, a mom, and a son or a daughter, whatever the case may be. But you got to bring 2 kids who would be interested who you think would be, would gain something from this.
Yes,
It's inspiring, right? Like
It
you want to
is.
inspire
It's
these
so
kids
cool to
different.
watch.
Yeah, it's great to watch.
yeah, students get in free, and then law students get credit, and then lawyers get the
Lawyers can get CLE credit, right?
For
How
coming.
great is it that, if anybody wanted to see any of these lawyers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We have on the defense side, Patrick Salvi Jr., right? Jim Pullos, Sarah King. If you were to go to the Daily Center to try to watch them, you'd have to stand outside the courtroom and wait your turn to go in to see them. Same thing with the prosecution team, Pat Collins, Tino Diamadatos, Katerina Alexopoulos. You can't go see them in a courtroom because they're so popular to watch. Now you get to watch them
Up close.
on stage,
Right.
front row, and you get to see them. It's
Right.
amazing, and you get credit. We
Harris-
get
with
CLE
you
credit.
too. Yeah.
HarrisTheaterChicago.org. But again, if you want to go and you're willing to bring a kid,
Yep.
312-591-8900. First two pair of tickets are on Andrea.
And absolutely, NationalHellenicMuseum.org for more information. And hopefully, now remember, as a celebrity juror, you have to listen to the case as it's presented on April 17th.
Yes.
And none of this, you can't take any of this that you've heard today
Right.
and be biased by this.
At 9 o'clock, I'm sequestering myself
Okay,
until the
good.
17th.
All right,
Steve,
good.
have I told you how
It's a
good looking you
self-
look today?
Oh, there we go. Objection. Yes. Is there such a thing as self-sequestration? I don't know if that's a thing.
You guys are the best. Thank you for doing this year for
thank
year.
you.
It's
And by the way, I
fascinating
know
to
you haven't
watch.
announced who Pericles yet, but have you thought about Zach Galifianakis? I like Zach very much. He's an old pal. And
know. How about
he's
that?
solid. Maybe Hank Azaria?
We will have a
We'll
famous
consider
Pericles.
those.
John Stamos.
We already tried that one.
If we have John Stamos, I have to switch teams. You know this.
Look
So
at
would
that.
Steve.
312-591-8900. We'll dance our way out. Thank you
Excellent.
for the honor of being there, and I look forward to seeing you all. I appreciate you getting up this morning.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you for having us.